life is gay any day in Soho. Cozy cafes, wine and sun make you feel aglow. True love can set your heart alight any night in Soho.
They call it the most fabulous square mile in the world. This labyrinth of narrow streets and gas-lit courts known as Soho in the West End of London. The name is derived from the cry of Soho, which called off the harriers as they chased the hare in these parts 300 years ago. Today, Soho has become the centre of cosmopolitan life in London. The Nate stream of workers flows towards the offices of leather merchants, dress manufacturers and filmmakers. As in other parts of London where the same trades and profession get together, Soho has its own business communities, one of the most noted being textiles. Quite early, the street markets get going again. Every morning, the flower stalls are dolled up afresh with choice blooms from Covent Garden, and it's quite a business unloading them and making an attractive window show where there isn't any window. This trader has been doing just that all his life, and always on the same pitch. There's hardly anything portable you can't pick up in the markets. One of the busiest is Berwick Market, a narrow ribbon of street where you can buy nearly everything from a cabbage to a corn plaster. If it's a dress length or a bit of curtaining, you will find both in great variety. Or if you want something to put on a horse, well, there are the very shirts. As with flowers, so the fruit and vegetables. While shops may have classier products, there's always a great show of the more homelier kind, such as these lovely ripe tomatoes. Shopping is at its height, and these stalls are doing a thriving trade with their aubergines, sweet peppers and chicory. Who'd like some morning gathered mushrooms? In and around the market streets, you will find everything for a modest menu. And you need never go short of garlic. But it's the cosmopolitan atmosphere of Soho that makes it so different, so famous. Here you will meet many nationalities and hear many languages. At almost any time of the day or night, you will see groups of Swiss, French, Italian, Spanish, Greek-Cypriot and coloured nationals in or near the many cafe bars, all minding their own business in their own way. The first refugees settled in Soho over 200 years ago, and thousands of others have joined them since. It is said that 20 different languages are spoken here, and, if the wind's in the right direction, you might even hear a little English. The shops at once reflect the continental flavour of Soho. Whether it's something to wear, to eat or drink, something that makes a change from the more ordinary things, you'll find them in abundance in this busy little corner of the capital. With so many people speaking so many different tongues, they are kept in touch with their own national affairs by a great variety of newspapers. As many as 33 foreign newspapers are on sale, besides, of course, the English ones. And if good reading goes with good smoking, perhaps you would care for one of these cigars, specially imported from Italy. Yes, the epicure's in his element in Soho. Every kind of sausage that goes into a skin and the rarest foods the world produces are there to satisfy every course in the feast. From soup to cheese, like these fine bel paese and parmesans. prefer the way the Spaniards do it, this senora is at service. Every kind of shop has its own display of tempting things from foreign parts. Soho is like a big open door for all our continental friends. The Dog and Duck Tavern commemorates the old hunting custom. On this very spot, where a modern minstrel sometimes tarries, was a big field where the natives went in for duck shooting in a big way. This one is known familiarly as the French pub. It has been run by the same family since 1914. And just around the corner is the Swiss. This too has its regulars of Swiss nationals. There's a real globe-trotting choice of places where you can eat. Your first call might be Turkey, or Italy, or China, or France, depending on your mood and your appetite. You might prefer to sample the old Spanish customs or dally with a dish from Hong Kong. Or if good coffee is an important item in your evening's repast, you'll find that in Soho, it's in much greater favor than tea. This sign at the entrance to a Chinese restaurant means good luck. But there's little chance of your being unlucky in your choice of Chinese food if you have a sharp edge to your appetite and you're fond of crispy noodles. Leon, the well-known restaurateur, samples the dish before it leaves the kitchen. He's even more finicky than his customers. When you're in China, or in a Chinese restaurant, you should really do as the Chinese do. Perhaps you have a passion for tagliatelle or spaghetti, which in Italian means little ropes. Then what better place to enjoy it than in an Italian restaurant? We are now in the kitchens of the Isola Bella, home of Italian specialities. Here, they make a special sauce from ingredients that have always been a secret of the house. And believe me, these secrets are well worth knowing. And there it goes. Ah, molto bene. Soho is proud of its patisserie, products of its master bakers. These scrumptious little cakes are known in the trade as mignons. They're slightly larger than petit fours and differ somewhat from friandises. It's confusing, isn't it? And difficult if you have to make a choice. Which one do you fancy? This cake was ordered for a Jewish lad's coming of age, which incidentally is 13 years. But birthday cakes are this firm's real speciality. They have made them for members of the royal family, and among recent commissions was a birthday cake for Sir Winston Churchill. There is a great skill in the icing, and this one seems to be just the job to go with many happy returns. The four outposts of Soho are circuses. Here is Oxford Circus, where Regent Street crosses Oxford Street, St. Giles's Circus in the parish of St. Giles, where the Great Plague originated in 1665. Cambridge Circus, which intersects the junction of Charing Cross Road and Shaftesbury Avenue. Piccadilly Circus, which derives its names from the piccadilles or ruffs worn in the early Stuart period, with its famous statue of Eros, the Greek Cupid, unveiled in 1893. One of the lungs, so to speak, of Soho is Soho Square, formerly King Square after Gregory King, the architect who laid it out. In 1585, on the oldest known plan of London, it was shown as a pasture land in the hamlet of St. Giles. Today, its trim flower beds and leafy trees against a background of business houses give it a pleasing sylvan look, which goes well with the lunchtime break. In Golden Square, George II, in bronze and Roman attire, surveys the preparations being made as the flags go up for Soho's annual carnival and fair. In Soho Square, local artists from St. Martin's School set up an open-air exhibition of their paintings. around, there's an air of curiosity and happy expectation as the decorated floats and floaters get ready to take part in the procession. The weather's good and spirits are high. It's carnival time. There are numerous festooned floats and other gay exhibits in the moving panorama of the commercial and artistic interests of bohemian life in this little London continent. They used to make barrel organs in Soho, and this is the Dutch variety. This sort of organ, believe it or not, that was originally installed in a church. The old craft of hand weaving is still practiced in the neighborhood. Models from the Visual Arts Club in Soho Square are doing it all sake. Some of the decorated cars have already won prizes. The restaurateurs of Soho are nothing if not resourceful. The band are going out for a blow, a big blow. Yes, they've got a very busy day in front of them. The procession is nearing Soho Square to be reviewed by the Mayor of Westminster. The rector of Soho has already blessed the occasion in various languages, even in English. The milling crowds really have caught the carnival spirit. Though the procession has a continental flavour, the Pearlies give it a good old Cockney touch. Not off, they don't. The kiddies just love it. Why, everybody's like a big kid today. Age doesn't matter in carnival time, not even if you're 1905. The exhibition of paintings attracts a lot of attention from visitors. Some of them may be curious to see whether Soho itself is as black as it's painted. The float of the pretty models turns into the network of streets that lead out of the square. The professional sitters are making the crowd sit up and take notice. Soho's moving contribution to the cause of art is quite something. Toulouse-Lautrec seems at home on the Moulin Rouge float, and so he should. Into the fray come charming senoritas from Soho's sunny Spain. Are doing a grand job, while the floats, like Old Man River, just keep rolling along. And here's the first prize winner. Oh, there'll be a real chopstick jamboree in the Chinese Quarter tonight. There's that road hog again. He's a devil for horsepower, and I bet he doesn't give a hoot. The strolling pairs move on to their next pitch. There's more excitement at the corner of Soho Square. Bet that Soho classic, the Waiters' Race. The starters in the paddock. The event has attracted over 70 entries, and if you've ever waited for a waiter to get a move on, you've got a size coming. Waiters can run. They're all in full uniform and carry a half bottle of champagne and 2 glasses. The first home with everything intact is the winner. They started in Soho Square, and here they come into Greek Street. Tip the winner, shall I? Or has he been tipped already? Anyway, here he is, young Robert Taylor, the other one, of course. But like the Robert Taylor he isn't, he gets a plonker. The also-rans, like good waiters, are going to see the thing through to the end of the course. Who knows? There may be a dainty dish waiting for them, too. Still they come. Perhaps that street sign, "No waiting," has something to do with it. Winner takes a swig of bubbly. He's in the news. Gaston Berlemont, popular mine host of the French pub, leads in the oldest competitor. He's 75. And so the fun goes on. Scores of young couples jive a mile or so through the streets. Excitement mounts as the day wears on, and more people come into Soho from the outlying districts. And this sort of thing lasts a whole week. When Soho goes gay, it makes a meal of it. They dance and keep on dancing to the music of the travelling band. Nobody seems to be getting tired around here. The crowds converge on Golden Square, where there will be some more stage dancing. Spanish dancers go into a typical number with rhythmic foot tapping and the clack of castagnette. And they have their imitators. Italia Conti school arrive to put on a program of their own. From such a famous stage nursery, the performance will be well worth waiting for. While the girls are getting ready, Irish pipers do their stuff. Yes, there's an Irish contingent in Soho too. And the sport peas have brought their instruments with them. Ah, 'tis the real Irish music, isn't it? Ah, for the old Irish jig. Never too young to bag a pipe. And there's nothing like dancing for the love of Mike. The crowd gathers for the Italia Conti show, and in a moment, the junior students will present their first number. It's a charming ballet beautifully done by the little ballerinas of the future. From this school, from these same beginnings, have come some of the world's most famous dancers. Just bewitched. Wasn't that charming? And it might surprise you to know that in the very old days, state ballet, and now a number in a different vein by some of the older students. The Dance of the Midinette, of An Impression of Paris. Ah, mas, c'est formidable, hein? The shop girls of the gay capital are on the spree, so watch their step. And if Madame wants her silly hat, she'll have to come and fetch it. The dance must go on. Dogs of Paris, the poodles, join in. They're so glad to be let off the lead. Wouldn't those old soldiers like to shake a leg too? Midinette and poodles always did get on well together. Of according to ballet tradition, and this is just a grand frolic. The little shop girls would rather play with a poodle any day than run errands with those awful hats. Ah, the shop's shut now, so why worry? And now it's the dance of the fairies, a sort of triangle piece with the bad black fairy trying to persuade the good fairy to run away with him. But the anxious rival, a rather nice fairy really, wants to know what it's all about. In the end, she leads them both a dance. You never can tell in fairyland. But perhaps she's more to be petted than blamed, like this baby monkey who just loves to take the lady's arm. This is the dance of the big top, a mime of the circus. It's a gay little number that moves very quickly and introduces some of the characters of the sawdust ring. The performers put on a number that captures the spirit of gaiety and mischief. It's the frolic of the clowns. Now the buffoon joins in the fun. Tradition has it that the original buffoon, armed with his little balloon, was a bird scarer. He doesn't seem to have changed a bit. With a buffoon, it is always the thrill of the chase. And we might alter the old rhyme about him just a little to read, he's dashing here and dashing there, and, well, I'm dashed, that's golden square. A popular folk dance, the tarantella. The tarantella is said to have originated as a kind of frenzy among Neapolitan people who thought that they'd been bitten by the poisonous tarantula spider. And that's something to get into a frenzy about. And now for the pretty little dancing acrobat. Valerie Smith is only 12, but this is going to be her profession. And she has the ability and the confidence of a performer twice her age. Go on, Ethel, you try. Look at those high kicks and handsprings. Little Valerie's a natural for this sort of thing, and she's certainly headed for stardom. Those Chelsea boys are really enjoying themselves. The procession, meanwhile, has almost reached Journey's End and is on its way out. Although they've been a long time on the road, the model girls keep smiling happily, does the sun. It's nice to be visual and artistic on a day like this. The Roman chariot must go back to Boadicea. Daddy Longlegs must go back shortly to his family. And the rest of the rolling revelers must go back to their everyday routines. It's been a grand procession, and Soho is proud of the enterprise and enthusiasm of its people. Soho is the hub of theatre land, too. This is the home of the famous Windmill Girls, and a feature of the house is its continuous performance. Many a stage star graduated at the windmill. The Palace in Cambridge Circus is one of London's oldest theatres, formerly the Royal Opera House. Arriving for the show is that great Shakespearean actor, Sir John Gielgud. Above the door is a tablet which reads, "The world's greatest artists have passed and will pass through these doors." Here is Anthony Ireland. The autograph hounds run to earth star Peggy Ashcroft. Another victim of the do sign please craze is Moira Lister. Peggy Ashcroft is one of England's leading dramatic actresses. One of the best-known meeting places for artists today is Gallery 1, whose presiding genius is poet Victor Musgrave. Among the exhibitors at Gallery 1 is John Christoforou, whose latest painting is being hung in preparation for a show. Another noted exhibitor is the sculptor Peter King, here seen with a visitor looking at the work of a young Indian painter, Sousa, and a figure in concrete by himself. Gallery 1 is fast becoming one of London's most progressive centres of contemporary art. It's the shop window of several up-and-coming young artists whose work in the modern manner is already sought by collectors. Peter King, who sculpted this figure, is only 25, and his work has found favour with the Arts Council. A Soho artist in a very different medium, pinewood, is Brian Robbins. He has sought and found inspiration, and now, like many another creative worker, he is seeking recognition. Brian works in a small basement studio in one of Soho's back streets, with little more than his courage to keep him going. To help out, every evening he lights 150 of Soho's gas lamps, and every morning he puts them out again. And now, with the gathering dusk, starts the nightlife of the neighborhood. Coffee bars are all the rage today, and on the walls of this one are some fine examples of ceramics, the art of the potter and worker in clay. Nights in Soho are exciting and colourful. At the Granada, these young people are obviously enjoying themselves. Jukebox may not be everybody's taste, but then few things are. Here's another example of that individual atmosphere. At the Mandrake Club, which, believe it or not, has 15,000 members, the name of every visitor is checked in a special register and every visit is recorded. But the careful scrutinizing of members doesn't affect the bohemian atmosphere of the club, or the music that is so typical of the little continent. Well, if you haven't quite made up your mind, do you know how many different drinks there are to choose from here? 500. But it's as well not to try them all in the same evening. There are other things to do, you know, besides drinking and dancing. Eating, for instance. The club will be open and the band will be playing until the small hours. But let us climb the stairs to the street. for a final coffee at Les Enfants Terribles with these French youngsters. They will be here for some while yet. But now it is time for us to be on our way. So long, Soho.
Et pourtant, j'attendrai ton retour. People are happy all the time, bustling to and fro. Work is fun and life is gay, any day in Soho. Cozy cafes, wine and sun make you feel aglow. True love can set your heart alight any night in Soho.